Yeah, obviously, there's a little bit of a backstory to the name 10th Mountain. Where did that name come from, and why did you want to call everything 10th Mountain?
Yeah, absolutely right. So the 10th Mountain originated here, just a few miles south of our hometown of Vail, Colorado, in a place called Camp Hale in the 1940s. And they were the first mountain warfare specific Army division that the U.S. has ever had. They saw the need for us to have a mountain warfare specific division for the battles going on in World War II. And so they trained in Camp Hale for a number of years. A lot of the guys didn't think they were ever going to get shipped off and get deployed. Finally, the call came, and they went over into Italy and won some very significant battles in northern Italy, breaking through the German Gothic line, and some very historic game changers. And so when they returned from war, they wanted to share their love of the mountains and the love of skiing with all their friends and family, and in essence started the outdoor sports as we know today, the outdoor sports industry as we know. They started over 60 different ski resorts across the country, and Vail Mountain being one of those. A number of them up in the Northeast where Jay is, a number in the North Lake Tahoe area. They also, one of the 10th Mountain vets founded Nike, the shoe company. He was Phil Knight's business partner, so Bill Bowerman, the National Outdoor Leadership School, the Knowles Experience is founded by a 10th Mountain vet. Pletzel Climbing Gear, Ski and Skiing Magazine were started by a 10th Mountain vet. And so they had just a huge influence in not only the modern day ski industry, but the outdoor sports industry as we know. And they were deactivated in the mid 50s, and then they were reactivated as a light infantry division in the mid 80s. And they're based in upstate New York in a place called Fort Drum, which is about an hour 15 minutes north of Syracuse. And they've been in all the major confrontations in the last 35 years. And they're one of the most active military divisions today. We do a lot of work with not only the 10th Mountain Foundation, the 10th Descendants, but with a lot of military nonprofits across the board. And so when we were starting our distillery, we're like, well, hell, without the 10th Mountain guys, we want to be here skiing a great ski mountain. And we want to be able to do what we love to do, which is make great whiskey. So we wanted to use this as a platform to support the different military nonprofits that are near and dear to our heart, and make great whiskey at the same time. So here we are.
What made you want to launch 10th Mountain Whiskey? Was it just you saw that there was going to be a potential, and you didn't want to let someone else,
Yeah,
take that opportunity?
I love the industry for a number of different reasons. It's a science, it's an art, it's chemistry, it's marketing, it's legal, it's a lot of hospitality. You get to meet a lot of great people and develop a lot of great relationships. We get to support something that I'm passionate about, and that our whole team is passionate about. We not only have a lot of vets on our team, but we do a lot of work with the different military nonprofits. And so it was a business that summarized and put all these things I love all into one. And so I've been an entrepreneur since I was a kid. I did not just have a regular lemonade stand. I had a lemonade stand multiplied 10x with a bunch of different things going on. And so ever since I was a kid, and just on up through the junior high and high school and college, and then into adult life, I was always doing something entrepreneurial, and was watching the craft distillery market was doing, and wanted to jump in. And so figured I'd just jump in head first and see what I could do here. So.
And a decade or so later, you're still at it, and you talked about giving back and being part of the community and different things. Why is that such a big thing for you all, and you specifically?
Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you. Appreciate that question. It's I'm under the impression anyone can start a distillery anywhere they want, right? Someone could come in my backyard and start a Vail Mountain Distilling Company, right? Or Vail Distilling Company. Great, more power to you. But I think it's more important. It's a commodity at this point, right? And I think more importantly, to not make it a commodity, you have to have something you stand for, have something that you support. Everybody's Tito's did a great job building his brand on the back of dogs, right? It's vodka for dog people. I'll give a shout out to Tito's. He's a great dude, and he's built a great brand. And so anybody, but making spirits is making beer, making almost anything these days is commoditized. And so I think you have to really differentiate yourself by the organizations that you support and what you mean to the community. And so we do a lot of work with our local community, with a lot of different military and non-military nonprofits, and then also here in the state and regionally, and then nationally as well. So that's why it's important if you start a business that you don't just take from the community and from the industry. You certainly need to add some value and give back to it, which is most important. So I heard a great quote. The world takes from takers and gives to givers. So I think it's important to make sure that you're supporting and giving back, or giving to the organizations that speak to you. So.
And it's pretty cool to see the amount that you're able to of organizations that you're able to help. And at the end of the day, though, you still got to make something that people enjoy. So when people get to try your bourbons and whiskeys, what can they expect?
They can expect something they enjoy, right? To echo your words, for sure, right? And it's something that we always say: the label will sell it once, and the flavor will sell it twice, right? And supporting these different organizations is great, but yeah, in the same breath, it certainly gets our brand in front of an audience that is passionate about what we're passionate about, and we hope that they take a chance to at least try our spirits, and hopefully they'll enjoy it. And if they do, then maybe they'll go make a purchase, right? So that's and then it all just circles on itself and allows us to do what we do, etc. So. But our bourbon, we are the craft distillery of the year a couple years back. Our single malt just won Best in Show at a Key West Invitational Spirit competition down there. I think there were about 100 different whiskeys or so that were entered into that, and it was a double-blind judging by other distilleries and consumers alike. So that was a nice feather in our cap. Our Ryan, our bourbon, also won a gold medal in that same competition. Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible rated our rye and our bourbon 90, 94, 92 points respectively. So certainly we don't hang just our hat on our namesake and our branding, although we're very proud of that, but it all doesn't work unless the flavor in the bottle is what's something that people enjoy as well. We're here at our distillery at 6,800 feet in altitude. And we're in an environment that's diurnal, if you know that word. It just means great temperature fluctuations throughout the day. And so we're in a space that the barometric pressure, just the environment in general, really increases the maturation factor. And so although we might have some younger whiskeys, we don't have a 10 or a 15-year-old whiskey. We have 2, 3, 4-year-old whiskeys, but most people that enjoy our whiskeys, if they drink it blind, and they don't know how old it is, they're guessing that it's about a 5 or 6-year-old whiskey, and are surprised at the fact when we tell them it's a 2 or 3-year-old whiskey. But it just alludes to the fact that where we're aging and then the environment here helps the whiskey mature a little quicker. I was talking to one of the old industry guys, and they're like, "You can't age whiskey quicker. We all age at the same pace." He's like, "You can mature it quicker a little bit, but you can't age quicker." I'm like, "That's a good point if you want to get down to the nitty gritty of it all, right? If you want to split hairs." But so I always watch my words when I'm talking about that. But so it's certainly something that's meant to be enjoyed. I love a 10th Rye Old Fashioned. People ask us, how do you enjoy it? And I'm like, well, enjoy it however you want. I don't mix it with Coke for all I care. If you enjoy it, great. If you enjoy it neat in a rocks glass or neat in a pint glass, I don't care how you enjoy it. Just if you're enjoying it, I'm not one to tell you how to enjoy your whiskey or enjoy your spirits. So I love our bourbon over a big cube. Our single malt I'll drink neat. So I think it's just up to each person's individual palate. So.
Well, I appreciate that. As a guy that on our series Neat and Mixed did a lot of mixed drinks, I appreciate that a lot.
Right? Exactly. No, in the end, it's meant to be fun. I certainly want people to drink it responsibly, of course, and there's all that around it. But make sure you're having fun with it. Make sure you're not leaning on it as too much of a crutch necessarily, but enjoying it with your friends, enjoying it with your significant other. At the end of the day, to forget about the day, to talk about your day, to bring people together. It's great in that regard. So, but as whatever glass you pour it in and however you enjoy it, we're not snobs about it. We're the exact opposite. So that's where we stand on it. So.